This is a video of the Titan submersible found on the ocean floor, which went missing in 2023. On the morning of June 18, 2023, at 9:01 a.m., the Titan submersible was launched into the North Atlantic Ocean to view the famous wreckage of the unsinkable Titanic. For the 5 people on board, this was supposed to be an exciting expedition. They were going to experience the Titanic wreck, 3,800 meters deep, for the first and, unfortunately, the last time. About an hour and a half into the dive, contact with Titan was lost. The world was left wondering, what had happened? Were the passengers still alive? For 2 days, that's all anyone talked about. Finally, after 2 days of search operations, news broke. Scattered parts of Titan had been found, and there were no survivors. Following the Titan submersible tragedy, new and official details have come to light. The U.S. Coast Guard has now made public the conversations that took place between Titan and the surface ship Polar Prince before the signal was lost. What did the crew see when they reached the Titanic wreck? What was the last message the mothership received before contact was lost? Welcome back to another episode of Unseen Mysteries. After a year and a half, the U.S. Coast Guard has released video footage showing half of the Titan submersible lying alone, 3,775 meters deep on the ocean floor. The video reveals what appears to be the rear portion of the sub, suggesting that the front section, where all 5 passengers were seated, was the part that imploded. In another video, the front portion of the sub is shown completely destroyed, with pieces of carbon fiber scattered across the ocean floor. This confirms that the front section imploded due to the immense pressure at that depth, causing the rear section to detach. The submersible that found these remains was a remote-controlled vehicle, deployed 3 days after contact was lost, on June 22, 23, by Pelagic Research Services. In an eerie twist, the wreckage of the Titan was found just 1,600 feet from the wreck of the Titanic itself. What's even more shocking is that 112 years ago, a first-class ticket on the Titanic cost just £150, equivalent to $300 today, while passengers aboard Titan had paid $250,000 for a ticket to see the Titanic wreck. Among the tourists on Titan were 3 high-profile individuals: prominent Dubai businessman and adventure enthusiast Hamish Harding, and 2 members of a Pakistani family, Shahzada Dawood and his son, Suleiman Dawood. The crew also included Stockton Rush, the owner of OceanGate and the pilot of Titan, and Paul-Henri Nargeolet, a 77-year-old Titanic wreck expert who had visited the wreck dozens of times before. After the accident, the world demanded to know what happened at the bottom of the ocean that caused Titan to implode. At the time the contact was lost, the U.S. Navy had detected a strange, unnatural sound underwater, raising questions. Could it have been an SOS signal or something else? Then came the bombshell. OceanGate's director of operations, David Lockridge, had been fired by CEO Stockton Rush in 2018 for raising concerns about Titan's safety. It turned out that Titan was an experimental submersible, designed and developed by Stockton Rush himself using carbon fiber, a material that had not been extensively tested or certified for deep-sea adventures. Lockridge had repeatedly warned OceanGate's CEO that the submersible was unsafe for passengers, but his concerns were ignored, eventually leading to his dismissal. In 2018, Lockridge published an engineering report explaining why a carbon fiber hull couldn't withstand the pressure at 4,000 meters depth. The case went to court, but by the time of the Titan accident, no decision had been reached. After the incident, this report resurfaced, raising serious questions about Titan's design. How could an experimental submersible be used for underwater tourism without proper certification? Why was there no regulatory body in the USA overseeing such dangerous expeditions? To make matters worse, the family of Paul-Henri Nargeolet, the Titanic expert on board, filed a $1 million lawsuit claiming OceanGate had hidden its past mistakes, leading to the loss of their loved one. Pressure was mounting on both the court and media to find out who was responsible for the Titan's implosion. As a result, the Canadian Transportation Safety Board and the U.S. Marine Bureau launched a joint investigation. This investigation revealed details previously concealed by OceanGate. According to the report, in January 2018, Titan was fully manufactured and assembled, but it failed to undergo a critical test to ensure its safety at extreme depths. Despite this, in later tests, Titan successfully reached a depth of 4,200 meters, where the water pressure is 6,154 psi. equivalent to having 6,154 pounds of weight on every square inch. When Titan passed this test, it seemed that the carbon fiber hull was safe. However, industry standards required testing submersibles to 1.25 times their maximum operating depth. Since the Titanic wreck is 3,800 meters deep, Titan should have been tested at a depth of at least 4,750 meters, a test that was never conducted. Not only that, but in 2019, a pilot identified a crack in the inner carbon fiber hull of Titan, which was ignored. Investigators have also released an animation showing the events leading up to the Titan's implosion, including the final communications between Polar Prince and the submersible. On June 16, 2023, Polar Prince left port in Canada, embarking on a 2-day journey to the Titanic wreck site. On June 18th at 9:19 a.m., Titan was deployed. During its descent, the sub continuously updated Polar Prince on its depth and location. Messages between the two vessels continued until 9:45 a.m., when Polar Prince asked, "Do you see Polar Prince on your display?" But this time, there was no response. After 20 minutes of silence, Polar Prince reported that its chat settings had disappeared. The chat was then taken over by Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who responded, "All good here." At 10:08 a.m., Titan's depth was 2,744 meters, and it reported that it was southeast of the Titanic's bow section. Polar Prince acknowledged this, but at 10:47 a.m., when Titan was just 454 meters from the Titanic wreck, it sent its final message, "Drop 2 weights." And with that, all contact with Titan was lost. We hope you enjoyed this video by Unseen Mysteries. Don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next thrilling episode.